In the final from Raleigh-Durham today, ND 45, North Carolina State 24. And it took us a while to get there, but we got there. For Fighting Irish Preview and fightingirishpreview.com, I'm Phil Houk. And we had a close one through three quarters. There's no doubt about that. North Carolina State played some really good football. At times, Notre Dame was their own worst enemy. Through three quarters, 24-20. Before the Irish finally put it away in the third quarter with 3 touchdowns. And here's the bad, the good, and the beautiful from today's game. First, the bad. Number one, an hour and 45-minute rain delay, lightning delay, I guess it really would be more accurate, that occurred at the end of the first quarter. That was just excruciating to anybody. If you were in the stadium, it was very excruciating. They had, evacuated the stadium. Everybody had to get out of there because of the lightning in the area. And that was at a time when the game very much in doubt. Had been a tough game to that point. The Irish were leading 3-0 right at the end of the first quarter, first play of the second quarter. The second thing that was bad, penalties for the Irish today. 10 penalties for 82 yards. That's awful. Those penalties kept drives going for the Wolfpack today, and they put the Irish into difficult positions over and over again. Some of them may be a little questionable. Okay, they always are. That happens in every game. But that's sloppy. That's something the Irish they just gotta clean up. It could have been caused by the field conditions, by a loud stadium, who knows? But the Irish sloppy today. 10 penalties. 3, the sack situation. ND just couldn't get sacks. They finally got a sack, but not until just a couple minutes left in the game. They did bring pressure all day long, seemed to hurry and disrupt some things, but they just couldn't get to Brennan Armstrong. I guess that's a tribute to him, but it was frustrating to watch. The Irish did finally get 1 sack late. And 4, another bad thing, ball security, Sam Hartman. I'm looking at you, my friend. 2 fumbles, one of them lost, the other one almost lost. Protect that football, son. When you're in that pocket, you just can't be holding that ball out there like this. You got to protect the football. Okay, let's talk about that. Got that all out of the way, the bad. Let's talk about the good. Sam Hartman, who we just kind of ripped on a little bit, ended up 15 of 24, 286 yards, 4 touchdowns. The Irish had 456 yards of offense. That's not bad, okay. Tight ends really got into the action today, and no one more so than Holden Stays. Holden Stays, you're gonna like this guy. He's not gonna make you forget Michael Mayer anytime soon, but maybe eventually, who knows. He had a big day, 4 catches, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. This just in, Holden Stays, he's good. He's a really, really good receiver. And 3, the third good thing, Notre Dame with 3 interceptions today. And I suppose that's a result of, even though we didn't get sacks, even though Notre Dame didn't get sacks, they were bringing pressure. That helped. Henderson, Watson, Morrison. They all got interceptions. Morrison should have had 2. He had 1 go through his hands. And also the Irish pass defense had 8 pass breakups on the day. That's a bunch. That's huge. You don't see that very often. And finally, let's talk about the beautiful from today's game. Audric Estime getting loose on that first play after that excruciatingly long weather delay. 80 yards he goes, and suddenly a 3-0 tenuous lead goes to a 2-score lead at 10-0. He showed power. He showed moves. He showed speed. Audric Estime he's a fast guy for such a powerful runner. That was beautiful. And another beautiful thing, we've already talked about him, but let's talk about Holden Stays' first touchdown catch. The 40-yarder, little dump about 10, 15 yards down the field to Stays. And you go, great, okay, we got a first down here. And then all of a sudden, he was off to the races. Looked like he was going to get pushed out of bounds. Showed great balance, great strength. Got it down the sidelines and walked into the end zone. That was a great play for a touchdown. Holden Stays. That was beautiful. Uh, and three, the third most beautiful thing, another 45 points for the Irish. This offense, yeah, they got weapons. It took them a while to get going today, but they can score points. And the Irish now through 3 games with 142 points. And that's on the season. And they've given up just 30 points, 24 of them today. Okay, that's kind of a lot, but NC State, Power 5 team, they had weapons, no question about it. They played well. Anyway, scoring 45 points today, that was beautiful. So the number 10 Irish go to 3-0. Next week, it's back at Notre Dame Stadium against 1-1 Central Michigan. Central Michigan today, they were playing at the same time the Irish were. They defeated New Hampshire today, 45-42. They're 1-1. And that's the Irish opponent for next week. The final again in Raleigh, Notre Dame 45, North Carolina State 24. And for Fighting Irish Preview and fightingirishpreview.com, I'm Phil Houk. Go to the website and please consider buying me a cup of coffee, a cup of Irish coffee as we're calling it. Keep this thing going and keep this thing free. Great talking to you. I'll talk to you next week, and that's a wrap.